to us about our second church, an experiment in fellowship. Derby.
Good morning. My husband Michael and I are so excited to bring an experiment to you called Second Church this fall. Right now, we're all in First Church, the Sunday morning service. It's what most of us think of when we think of church. Second Church is what happens after the worship service. It's all about strengthening our fellowship with each other and also about making more profound connections between our Sunday morning faith and worship and our regular Monday to Saturday lives. There is going to be a menu of 3 small group options to sign up for. We hope you'll choose one. The first is to join a Wayfinders team. Wayfinders is the small group ministry that I've been leading for years here in the diocese. And on a Wayfinders team, you'll join 4 or 5 fellow parishioners on a team where you go into a discernment retreat for a weekend, and you'll be looking at your gifts. You all have so many. You'll look at your current life circumstances, the challenges you're facing right now. Maybe you've got a dream kicking around there that it might be time to bring to life. And out of all that discernment, each of you will choose a goal. Something that God seems to be calling you to next, big or small. And then what makes it a little different is the teammates will stick together for the next 2 or 3 months, helping each other bring those discerned goals to life, step by step, with all the support and accountability and love and humor that it takes. People routinely come out of Wayfinders teams feeling energized about their faith and deeply connected to each other. And that experience changes their experience of First Church. So that's happening after Christmas, and I'll launch as many of those teams as people are interested in trying them. The other 2 groups are more experimental. So about 18 months ago, Michael and I thought, how could we bring a taste of that Wayfinders experience to an entire congregation? Wayfinders is a deep dive, and people have different levels of energy and availability. Could we design a few experimental small groups that were lighter than that asked a little bit less of people? Groups for people still to learn each other's stories, or discern their gifts, or maybe even help each other with some hard things that are happening in their lives. If a lot of people in the congregation participated in something like that, would it change the way people experience church? So last year, we went up the highway to Gardner, and we tried it for a year. We launched 6 experimental small groups. Some of them worked, some were duds, but it was an experiment, so that was okay. But 3 worked beautifully. One of them is Wayfinders, and we're also going to bring the other 2 to you. And they're starting this fall. The first is Storytellers. Storytellers is a low-threshold, drop-in group where you can come with a few other people around a table every week after coffee hour, and there'll be a topic which we'll share ahead of time. It might be something like, tell me about a teacher that really changed your life. Or maybe, what's a time, Linda, that you've been really brave and you had to draw on bravery in your life? And I'm only picking on Linda because she's already been a Wayfinder. And then you'll gather to tell stories together from your lives in that group. What we heard from people last year is that when they began to tell and listen to each other's stories, they began to know each other in ways much more deeply than you can get to in a coffee hour conversation. So also meeting after coffee hour will be Account-A-Buddies. Account-A-Buddies are a lot of fun, but it's a little bit more of a commitment. That in Account-A-Buddies, you and 4 or 5 other buddies will also meet after coffee hour. By the way, both of these groups, we're going to have you out by noon, okay? And in Account Buddies, you are going to each look at your week coming up and figure out something this week that you would like some accountability for getting done. It might be making a really tough phone call that you're dreading, or it might be getting some exercise, getting out and taking a walk. The step doesn't matter, just that it's something that you want accountability for. And then the team will come back the next week, and you'll tell each other, how did it go? And people in Gardner just ran to their Account Buddies teams. There's a lot of laughter, and it turns out that it's wonderful having people along the journey with you and knowing more about your real life and helping support you in it. So again, those two start September 17th. You don't need to sign up for them, just show up and we'll organize the people who turn up. And if you can't be there on the 17th, just let me know, and there'll be lots of opportunities to join any of these groups this year. So thank you, and we're excited about getting started.